Welcome to Live Daf, your online Daf Yomi Shir.
Shalom Aleichem and welcome back to today's Daf Hayomi Maseches SOTAH Daf Lamed Gimel. We are holding on the 7th line from the top of the Amud at the two dots. Tefillah. So the Mishnah mentions that tefillah, davening, Shmoyne Esrei, can be expressed in any language, not necessarily only in Lashon HaKodesh. The question is why? Says the Gemara, the answer is Rachmehi. What's the point of davening? To arouse Hashem's compassion upon us. Kol Hechi, the boy. Therefore, in any which way he chooses to daven, matzli, he can do so, he can daven. The Mefarshim explain, the Gemara in Tanis, Daf Beis Amud Aleph, tells us that what is considered avodah shebalev, service of the heart, tefillah. Tefillah is generated by one's heart. It's a heartfelt, it's an emotional experience. And the Gemara in Sanhedrin tells us further, Rachmana libaboy, Hashem desires the emotions within our hearts. It's an expression of our feelings, of our yearnings. And therefore, it lends to reason that tefillah, which is that personal expression to arouse Hashem's feelings towards us, so to speak, that tefillah can be said in any language of the heart. Asks the Gemara, Utfila b'chol lashon, is that correct? One may daven using any language? V'amar Rabbi Yehuda, la'olam al yishal adam tzurachav b'lashon aramis. One should take care never to ask for his needs, never to pray to Hashem in Aramaic. Not only that, Amar Rabbi Yechanan, kol hashayel tzurachav b'lashon arami, a person who proceeds in Aramis, ein malachi hasharis niskokin loy, the malachim who are tasked with bringing our tefillos to Hashem will not pay any heed to tefillos said in Aramaic. Because the malachim don't understand Aramaic. That's what it seems from Rashi. Others learn that although they understand, but they don't pay attention to it. That is the pshat of the Rosh in Mesechas Brachos. They're not interested in listening to Aramaic. It's sort of a distortion of Lashon HaKodesh, as explained by the Madani Yontif. So, bottom line is, we don't daven in any language other than Lashon HaKodesh. That's the way it would be according to Rashi and according to the Rosh. Certainly not in Aramaic, which is something the Malachim don't really tend to. So how could the Mishnah tell us that any language is okay? The answer is like Kashi Habi Yachid. When he's davening on his own, when he's in need of the Malachim's services to elevate his tefillah to Hashem, then be careful, daven only in the appropriate language. Habit tzibur, but if it's with a tzibur, they don't need any help. Rashi brings a pasuk in Eoiv, Hein Keil Kabir Loimas. He's not moyes. B'tfilas Sharab. Hashem doesn't look away when the tzibur davens. So in a tzibur experience, any language is okay. Asks the Gemara, Ve'in Malachi Hashares Makirin B'loshen Arami. Is that correct that Malachim don't understand Aramaic? V'atanya, listen to this brisa. Yochanan, who was a famous Kohen Gadol, and who was in the Beis Hamikdash, in the Kodesh HaKadoshim on Yom Kippurim, what did he hear? Shama Baskol, he hears a heavenly voice ringing out, Mi Beis Kodesh HaKadoshim, Shu Eimerhus, which says as follows, Nitzchu Talaya. They tell you the young Kohanim who went to wage war right before Yom Kippur, to battle the Greeks, they prevailed. They won over the Greeks. The Oslu who went La Gocha Krava to engage in battle, La Antuchya, to the place called Antuchya, they won them over. So this was a baskol, a heavenly voice, on Yom Kippur. In which language? It's clear that it's in Aramaic. Another story, V'shuv Masa B'Shimon HaTzadik, who as well was a Kohen Gadol, Sheshama Baskol, Mibeis Kodesh HaKadoshim, here is a similar voice coming from the Kodesh HaKadoshim on Yom Kippur, Shu Omer, ringing out, announcing as follows. Betilas, it was disrupted. The avidita, the war effort, the soldiers which were mobilized by the Greeks and attempting to attack the Beis Hamikdash, their plans were disrupted. The Amar Sana, that the enemy had contemplated to bring into attack on the Heichal of Yerushalayim, on the Beis Hamikdash, V'nerag Gas Kalgas, this fellow Gas Kalgas, the king of the Greeks, or the general, he was killed. Ubotlik Zeroisav, and his decrees were annulled. V'kasvu Isa Shah, and the people around, when Shimon HaTzadik relates this information, they were there, and they recorded Isa Shah, the exact time when this voice rang out. So after Yom Kippur, they wrote down, it's 11:35. V'kivnu, and it turns out that it was exactly right on the same moment as the event happened. And it's clear that the information coming from the Bas Koil, which we assume is like a sort of a malach, was expressed in Aramaic. And you tell me they don't understand, or certainly don't speak Aramaic. We have two terutzim. One shot can be Bas Koil Shani. A Bas Koil works differently than Shmu Yavida, because after all, it's meant to convey information. So it's as per the receiver's language of understanding, but typically a malach doesn't relate to Aramaic. Another pshat, Gavriel Hava. The Bas Koil here was expressed by a special malach called Gavriel, who in fact is proficient in all languages. As we learn later on in our Masechta, actually, this was when Yosef HaTzadik was standing before Parai and had to impress him. He had to know all the languages. But Gavriel came down, and instantaneously taught him all 70 languages. So apparently he's fully proficient, but the other malachim aren't. So bottom line, of course, it's preferable to daven tefillah in Lashon HaKodesh, but you can daven in any language. But it's not really so advised, because certainly biyachid, we need to come on to the service of the malachim, who pay way more attention to Lashon Kodesh, and therefore a person should be careful to stick to that. According to the Rosh, the concern is only by Lashon Arami. Birchas Hamazon can be said in any language. Why? Bless Hashem any way you want. Shvus Eidus. One swears that I can't really help you. Sorry, I have no information that can help you. I can't help you with my testimony. That can happen in any language. So I would think perhaps this type of shvua would be similar to the shvua that took place on Har Grisim and Har Evel, like we learned yesterday, which was in Lashon HaKodesh. Therefore, the pasuk says, "V'sham akol ola." He heard this oath, instead of the pasuk saying that the fellow was mashbiah him using the lashon of shvua. It says v'shama. He listened, he heard, he understood. B'chaloshin sheishamas, any language that the nefesh understands works. Shvus apikaden. So he swears as follows: look, I deny that you have any money with me, and he swears about it. Any language works. Asya techta mishvos edus, because we have exer shava. The lashon techta over here, lashon techta by the shvos edus. There, any language works. Over here as well. That concludes the first part of the Mishnah, which listed us many examples of things that can be said in any language. Now starts a new phase. The following need Lashon HaKodesh strictly. Mikra Bikurim, V'chalitza, Ad, Mikra Bikurim, Ketad. And now we go through the whole list until we get to the part of the Mishnah which describes the halacha of Mikra Bikurim, and how we know that the psukim and the parsha that the fellow delivering Bikurim to the Beis Hamikdash will say must be said in Lashon HaKodesh. Mikra Bikurim Ketad. The pasuk by Mikra Bikurim says, "V'nisa v'amart l'fnei Hashem Elokecha." You should respond and call out l'fnei Hashem Elokecha. So we have the lashon v'anisa, v'lahalon oimer, and elsewhere. This was when the Leviim announced the brachos and klolis. We have a lashon v'anu, halavim v'amru, el kolish Yisrael, and we connect it to ma'aniya, just like the term aniyah, hamur lahalan, which is mentioned by the Levim, b'lashon hakodesh, was in lashon hakodesh, as we're going to see in a minute. Avkan b'lashon hakodesh, likewise, v'nisa v'amarta by bikurim is strictly lashon hakodesh. V'levim gufayim minalan. How do we know the Levim express themselves in lashon hakodesh? We have another Gzera Shava for that. Asya. We derive it by using the word koil and connecting to another koil, mi Moshe from Moshe Rabbeinu. Ksiv v'acha koil ram. By the Levim it says they responded koil ram, uksiv hasam. And by Matan Torah we have Moshe Yadaber. V'lekim yanenu b'koil. We have the Lashon koil, and we learn Mala Halam, just like by Matan Torah. But Lashon HaKodesh, it was said in Lashon HaKodesh. It's clear from the Gemara, the Rashi, the Tosfos, that the Torah was given in Lashon HaKodesh. There seems to be no question about that. Av Kama Lashon HaKodesh, likewise. Over here by the Levim, where we have Lashon Koil, to reference Lashon HaKodesh. Knowing that, we take that and we stretch it over to Bikurim, through the Gzera Shava of Aniyah. Chalitza Ketzad. Again, the back and forth discussion by the Chalitza must take place in Lashon HaKodesh. Why? So according to the Rabbanan, we use the Lashon Aniyah again. Same Gzera Shava, because it says V'ansa v'amra by the Chalitza. We have V'anu haLevim v'amra by the Levim. Rabbi Yehuda says, not necessary. V'ansa v'amra kacha. This is the way she speaks. Kacha, it's absolute in Lashon HaKodesh, the way the Torah is written. V'Rabbanan ha'kacha ma'avdili. What do Rabbanan use the word kacha for? Because they have another source for Lashon HaKodesh, which was the Gzera Shava. They apply it to the following halach. Anything that needs to be actually done in a physical form, in a masa, like pulling off the shoe, spitting, all that is ma'akev, it's critical. Kacha ye'aseh la'ish. The word kacha is near the word ye'aseh. Anything that has ma'aseh is ma'akev. That's a side point, which is important for the halachas of chalitza. Nothing to do with Lashon HaKodesh. Rabbi Yehuda, how does he know, on the one hand, Lashon HaKodesh, and on the other hand, that everything there is critical for the process to succeed? Rabbi Yehuda Mikai, it could have just said kai yeyaseh. Kacha, it says kacha. We have two sources. One is we need Lashon HaKodesh, and secondly, davar shu ma'aseh. Anything which needs to be done in practice, ma'akev, is vital for the process. For Rabbanan, they respond kai kacha lemashmahu. The fact that it says kacha instead of kai, they don't really dwell on that. Now, for Rabbi Yehuda, Hai va'ansa va'amra, my aved lei. Rabbi Yehuda learns Lashon HaKodesh from kacha. What does he do with that Gzera Shava? Ansa over here, and va'anu by the Levim, what does he use it for? The answer is, M'bayile lagmuri, l'Levim v'Lashon HaKodesh. He says like this. Chalitza v'Lashon HaKodesh we know from kacha. So that's the starting point. And actually, that's source material for Levim on Hagrizim, instead of the Chachamim's approach. That the starting point was Hagrizim, the Levim, and bringing that over to Chalitza, just the opposite. The starting point is Chalitza, Kacha, Lashon Kodesh. We take that concept and apply it to the Levim through the Gzera Shava of Aniyah. Asks the Gemara, why do Levim need a raya? Why do they need to be sourced in Chalitza? V'leilav kol mi Moshe. We have the Lashon Koil by Levim. We have the Lashon Koil by Moshe by Har Sinai. That should teach the Levim to do it by Lashon HaKodesh. Aniyah Gomer. The answer is a Gzera Shava must be accepted from one's Rebbe. You don't just invent a Gzera Shava. And Rabbi Yehuda had the tradition that Aniyah is a Gzera Shava. That allows him to learn Levim from Chalitza, because both have Aniyah. Koil Gomer, but this Gzera Shava called Koil, he never had in his repertoire, so that was not an option. Tani Namiyachi, we have the same in a Brayser. Rida Eimer Kol Makom Shnemar Koi, Kacha, Aniyah V'Amira. Whenever we have the Lashon Koi in the Torah, or Kacha, or Aniyah V'Amira, in something which is speaking related, of course, Einoi Ela Lashon HaKodesh, it is strictly Lashon HaKodesh, and we're going to see the list. Koi, where do we have Koi? By Birchas Kohanim, Koi Tzevarcha, right? Where do we have Kacha? By Chalitza, right? Kacha the Chalitza. Aniyah V'Amira we find by the Levim, which is learned from Chalitza, that Lashon HaKodesh is required. Brachos u'klolis ketzad, how did they go about expressing the brachos u'klolis? Kimish avri solas hayarden v'chu. Tana Rabbanan, we have a brayso which will focus on the psukim in Devarim Yud Aleph, which instruct Klal Yisrael how to proceed with the brachos and klolis. This took place, of course, as soon as they crossed the Jordan into Eretz Yisrael without Moshe Rabbeinu, Yeshua at the helm. And the pasuk says like this: Halayhema be'evar Yarden, Achrei derech mevaya shemesh be'eretz haknani hayeshev ba'arava mul hagilgal eitzel eiloinei meir. So this is a very detailed description of the location, where to stand when they make the brachas haklolis. You have to go to Hagrizim, to Hareva. Where are those mountains? It's be'evar hayarden. It's Achrei derech mevaya shemesh. It's be'eretz haknani. It's a place called Arava. It's Mul HaGilgal. It's near Eloinei Meir. You can't go wrong. So now the Brisa will explain to us exactly where this is. And actually, we do have two shittas as per the location of Har Grizim and Har Evel. Was it right near the Yarden or far away from the Yarden towards the west near Shechem? So again, Tanu Rabbon Alihim Bevar Yarden. Me'ever HaYarden ve'elach. Divrei Rabbi Yehuda. So Rabbi Yehuda learns that it was very far across the Yarden, meaning you enter, you cross over into the west bank of the Yarden, and you travel and travel all the way to Shechem. And it was a nace that they got there in one day. Divrei Rabbi Yehuda. Achrei derech mavei hashemesh. So Rashi brings from a medrash. Achrei means muflag, at a distance, far away. Achrei derech mavei hashemesh means it was at a distance, far away from the mavei hashemesh, where the sun rises. Sun rises in the east. So it was away from the east. It was more towards the west. It was all the way away from the Yarden. Mokim shacham azeracha. So it was at a distance from where the sun rises, meaning it was more towards the west. Be'eretz haknani hayeshev ba'arava. Where is that? Elu hagrizim har evel. Sheyesh ben Kutim, where today the Kutim live there, meaning where Sancherev had, populated with the cult, with the group of people called the Kutim, which is by Shechem. Mul HaGilgal, what is that? Samach LaGilgal, a place where you can see, a place called Gilgal. So it's near Gilgal. Eitza Lene Meira, which is actually by Shechem. How do I know? It doesn't say Shechem in the pasuk, because we have Elene Meira here. Ula Halanu Eimer. Elsewhere we have the Lashon Elene Meira. Vayavar Avram Ba'aretz Ad Makam Shechem Ad Eloin Meira. And there we have Shechem near Elon Meira. Ma Elon Meira Amur Al Shechem, just like Elon Meira over there is a reference to the Makam of Shechem. Avkan here as well. Elon Meira is Shechem. Tanya Amr Rabbi Lezer Rabbi Yossi. B'davar zeh, using this information, Ziyafti, I discredited Sifrei Kutim, the books of the Kutim, who only believed in the written Torah, not in the oral Torah and the explanations provided by the Chacham. They didn't believe in Gzeira Shava is nothing, right? So I went and I challenged them with this information. I asked them, I told them, Ziyaftim Teraschem, you forged, you sort of edited your own Torah, without any gain. What does that mean? You see, the pasuk only says Elon Meira. That's where they had the bracha. It doesn't say anything about Shechem. How do you know that Elon Meira is Shechem? And in fact, they put the word Shechem into their Chumash. They sort of edited, they filled in the blank. They put the word Shechem, and this way they know where it is. But how do you know that it's Shechem? Look, Af Anu Moedim She'Elon Meira Shechem. We also agree that Elon Meira is Shechem. But we have a proper source. We have a tradition through Gzeira Shava, which we believe in. Anu Lamad Nua B'Gzeira Shava. So we derived it from Gzeira Shava. So by us, it's clear cut, clear as day. Elon Meira, although the pasuk doesn't add the word Shechem, but we know it's Shechem through Gzeira Shava. But you, who put in the word Shechem in your Torah, so that it's part of the written Torah, v'malamadtum, how do you know it? So you fixed up your Torah, but you destroyed it because you put it in information which isn't substantiated according to your worldview. So you really gain nothing. So basically, he's proving to them that their whole mindset is faulty and flawed. Rabbi Lezer Omer, he disagrees with Rabbi Yehuda, who said that it's far away from the Yarden, it's towards the west. He says no, it's right across the Yarden, relatively to the east of Eretz Yisrael. Yarden means Samach Yarden. Right when they crossed the Jordan on the west bank, we're right near the Yarden. Because if it's at a distance from the Yarden towards the west, the pasuk seems to say otherwise. As soon as you cross, right there. And based on this, when the pasuk continues, Achrei derech mavaya shemesh, it means different than the way Rabbi Yehuda explained it. It means right across the Jordan. Mokim sha'achama shekas. Achrei, of course, means at a distance. Far away from what? Far away from the west, the place where the sun sets. Okay, so basically like this. We have the Yarden. According to Rabbi Yehuda, they crossed and they traveled far away from the east, where the sun rises. According to Rabbi Elazar, it was right across the Yarden, which was at a distance from where the sun sets. So it was far away from where the sun sets. It was here. Continues the Gemara. What about Be'eretz HaKnani? That's Eretz Chivi, the land belonging to Chivi, Eretz Chivi, which was right near the Yarden. Hayeshev Ba'arava. Now comes the question. Hayeshev Ba'arava? Arava denotes a flat land, as the Targum says, Mishraya. Well, right near the Jordan, we have peaks and cliffs and mountains. The Chivi inhabit the area of mountains and valleys. That's going to be a question I'm going to answer soon. Next question. Mulha Gilgal. You're telling me that it's right near the Yarden, which is near the Gilgal. Well, it's not so. They couldn't see the Gilgal from there. It's a different location. So the answer to that will be provided by the next Tana. Why do we mention Ba'arava? Why do we mention Gilgal? The point here is not geographical indicators. It's more like a drasha. The pasuk here is telling us information. Hashem is giving them advice how to travel into Eretz Yisrael. To show them the way into Eretz Yisrael. The second time around, meaning now that they no longer have Moshe Rabbeinu, they're entering Eretz Yisrael on their own. So he's telling to them again the way. He's showing them the way again, kederach, just as he had done so for them in the past, when there was the Amud Ha'an on the cloud, which was traveling and showing them the way when Moshe Rabbeinu was alive. Kederach sheher lam b'rishon, just like he showed them in the past with Moshe Rabbeinu. And that's why it says derech ha'arava, and that's why it says Mulha Gilgal. It's not to be taken literally, rather it means like this. Derech ha'arava. What is that? Derech means b'derech lechu. Take the roads. Don't make your way through the fields and the orchards and the vineyards. Take the road, take the highway. Hayoshev, derech hayoshev v'arav. What does that mean? B'yishev lechu. Once again, go through inhabited areas. Travel through civilization. Don't go through deserts. Ba'arava, what does that mean? Ba'arava lechu. Go through flat lands. Meaning, circumvent the mountains. When you get it right into Eretz Yisrael, when you cross the Jordan, you're confronted by these tall, daunting cliffs. Don't do that. Don't make it hard for yourself. Go around, circumvent the mountains, go through the flatlands, and then come around. So bottom line is, where did the brachas and kolos take place? Where are the Har Grizim and Har Heva located? We have a machlekes, according to one shita near Shechem, and the other shita near the Yarden. Tanu Rabban. Ketzad Abri Sotah Yarden. What system did Klal Yisrael employ when they crossed the Yarden? What was the arrangement? B'chol Yom, typically on a regular day, Aron Noisea, the ark which contained the luchos, would travel when, not ahead, would travel right in the middle of the encampment. Achar Shnei Dekolim. After two groups. First travel the Degel of Yehuda, the group of Shvatim under the banner of Yehuda. Then came the banner of Reuven, and then traveled the Aron right in the middle, followed by the other two groups. But today, when they crossed the Yarden, Nas Atchila, the Aron, was the trailblazer, went ahead. Shenemar, the pasuk says, Hinei Aron Abris Adon Kol Aretz Oyever Lifneichem. Traveled ahead. B'chol Yom v'Yom, on a typical day, Leviim Noisenis Aron. Who carried the Aron? The Leviim. That was their task. But today was a special day. Nasu Kahanim. The Aron was carried by the Kehanim. Shenemar, as the pasuk says. V'hoya kinoyach kapois ragle Kehanim noise Aron Hashem. As soon as the Kehanim landed in the Yarden, holding the Aron, boom, the Yarden split. Okay, to be continued. So what do we have today? Tefillah in any language. Birchas Hamazon in any language. Shvuos Ha'edus and Pekaden in any language. Lashon HaKodesh is required for the Mikra Bikurim, Brachas V'Klolis, for the Chalitza. And we discussed how the Brachas and Klolis take, where the Brachas and Klolis were located. We had two Shitas. And then the Gemara describes for us how they crossed the Yarden, the Oren ahead, carried Badi Kehanim. All the best to you, Hatzlacha Rabbah, and much Besuros Teves.